How we going, Westy?
Hello, Westy.
Oh, this is... Hey, Westy.
Oh, that's where that. Have you got speaker? Is that what's coming through? I can hear that.
What's happening?
I could hear it in the background. That's where it's coming from. There was a slight echo.
I've got nothing.
Maybe it's only me. Maybe it's only me that can hear it.
No, I can hear echo.
On who?
Oh, Westy
Who's
said it
echoing?
sounds good.
No, I can hear echo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do you have the speakers on? Like, your Twitch on, Sarah? That's probably what it is.
No.
Hmm.
No.
I can still hear it. I don't know.
What if I put my earphones on?
Yeah. It's probably a good idea.
Everyone else says no echo.
I'm going to move my...
Yeah, no idea.
Well, Mooncross made it. It's going good.
All right. Is that working?
That's good.
Yeah, I'm not hearing any echo.
No echo now. It was all Sarah.
Okay, so it was obviously me.
Oh, jeez. How you doing tonight, Ninja? Today.
I know how to dead run. I don't know how to do technology. I'm still learning.
We're all learning. I think everyone appreciates the videos you've been putting out there recently. Still better than Lucky. Still better than Lucky.
Stupid.
Are you on the Dunny, Lucky? Yeah, I know. What's he doing? I thought he wasn't going to be hanging around. Oh, shit. Who's Lucky? All right. You can't ban a mod. Westy's always onto it when there's random people in there. So, what do you think of the new skin, like we were talking about offline?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think, yeah, it's always good when there's not much of a challenge to get it. Like, you just have to race 10 times. So everyone's going to get one, and that worked really well with the Star Wars skin. Like, rarity doesn't really matter. Like, people just love having a skin. So
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what it truly looks like. It looks like the New York skyline, so...
It looks... They've all looked pretty good so far, so definitely worth getting.
Wow.
Definitely, like, at worst, it costs $25, even if you lose every race.
Yeah.
But I think even then, you'll be happy getting a skin.
100%. For $25, you can't really go wrong. I mean, people spend more... Like, there's always the...
When are they going to have a blockchain jockey skin?
That'd be sweet. I'd love
Oh,
blockchain jockey skin. It'd be good if they did that for creators, like just different streams to give away or whatever.
Yeah. They got to keep it under control. I think they can't like have everyone just making skins because then it'll just kind of get a bit silly. I think, but like definitely, yeah, some select people like giving away some skins would be awesome.
Yeah, like Lucky Jack for his Lucky Maiden. You know, like the bigger kind of events that get put out there by the community.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. A
Yeah.
Brisbane River skin. That's like Coyote Brown or Field Drab, maybe.
Did you see what Zedrun said back to Danshan in the comments?
About what exactly did he want? He want in this comments. I didn't see this now.
So Danshan said, "Is this your paid race stimulus plan?" And then Zedrun clapped back and said, "Sorry, we didn't shout you out the other day. Next year, promise." And it was Wednesday the 8th, National Best Friend Day.
Yeah, they're just trolling back and forth.
They are. It's kind of nice to see them. Sometimes it's a little much, but on the most part, it's pretty funny to see them actually commenting.
I think that account's definitely shown a bit more life lately.
Yeah,
It's been good.
It's just the general interaction. I think it doesn't
I think
really.
that's what people want. Like, just to know that they're there. I guess.
Yeah, it's not just an account. Like they do reshare, they do see it, they are commenting. I think it's good. I think it's good for the for Zedrun in general.
Yeah, for sure.
So, how are you both feeling about the state of Zed right now? Feel like it's sort of building back up again, or just sort of trickling along?
Yeah, we talk about it a lot. Sarah might have some thoughts on that.
Yeah,
If she's there still.
maybe. It's hard to say.
I just want to check. Am I a little bit delayed?
Not for me.
Are you watching it on Twitch? Because that's delayed.
Yeah, you have the audio like
Might be.
Okay, hang on.
us
Let me
talk.
try this.
Us talking live should be through the other dooflicky, because otherwise you will be delayed.
Wait, say something now.
All right, Westy.
Now.
Yeah, you're sweet.
That sounded a bit delayed. I don't know.
I know.
Maybe we should just go in the main room. Got to walk all the way across the house.
I'll get you a race up, Westy.
Yeah.
We're not using Discord this time. Oh, I tell you what, that is the bane of my existence now. The sound coming through straight away when you open up a 3D race.
Oh, I don't watch 3D races, so
Oh, right.
it's affected me.
The sound comes back now. Like, you know how, I don't know if you ever watched really 3D races, but when you click on the 3D race, the sound comes up straight away.
Yeah.
Instead of being
they
muted.
changed that. You had to like toggle it on before. Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah. Does anyone want to listen to that music that is playing? Like,
Probably not.
is it? It's not. It's never. Like, it never increases the enjoyment of the race. Like, it's just. It's unnecessary. I'd rather hear like a crowd or something.
It'd be good if they had some different sounds. Like if, because I noticed with Budweiser being in their Discord, they've got like a Budweiser independent artist thing going on, where they're like partnered with Budweiser as an independent artist to be used as parts of their bits and pieces. Like if Zed had something like that, then probably you'd listen, maybe a little bit.
Yeah. I think if there was they mixed it up a bit and there was like something worth listening to. Like, it's a good opportunity, I guess, if someone like wants to sponsor like a day of racing, they can get their music played
Yeah, that would be
like
cool.
throughout the day or something.
Yeah.
I think there's opportunities everywhere. They've got to make 3D racing a bit more exciting first for people to actually watch it. Like, make the first half of the race mean something, and like make the horses like what they do mean something. Like if they break late, that's more of like a variance horse or something where it's like hot or cold.
Yeah. Other than just us kind of making it up as like, oh, it's going to be a good run or it's not.
Yeah. How people talk about like, oh, this one always likes to leave it late.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really mean anything. But if it did mean something, people would really be interested to watch their races.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree on that. As much as it's nice to watch the race and see what the outcome is, yeah, if you could actually gauge something by watching the race as well, it would add another layer to it.
Inspector Klaus, which race is this?
How you going over there, Sarah? All good now?
All right. I think I've fixed it a little bit.
Yep.
This sound good. Yeah, no delay.
Okay, good. I think I fixed it. Where's Lucky? I was ready to start teasing him.
He's off doing stuff with the family.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Well,
I just wanted to give him my condolences, and I'm sorry for his loss the other day. It's very devastating. New South Wales losing to the best team in State of Origin. So
it wasn't a great night all around in New South Wales, in Z and in the Origin.
It was a bit of a blowout on both ends, really. It wasn't a huge blowout, but
yeah. Wesley's found the toughest race ever for Moon Thunder here, or Moon Cross Thunder. He bred it with a horse. What's this? Prospector Smoked.
Yep.
And our mare Moon Thunder. We bred this.
yeah.
And it's been going alright, but it's maybe not up to this field. We'll see.
How you going?
100% ROI. That's something.
Wesley's definitely been breeding some good horses out there.
Well, yeah, I tell people that are frustrated with breeding that they should look at some of the things Wesley's been doing. Like, I think that gives everyone hope. I think it shows there's still, like, I wouldn't say it's a lottery anymore. Like, it's not a complete random lottery, but there's still the chance to get something that's as good as a Z1 from a Z75 pacer. So,
yeah,
like, that's got to give everyone hope. Like, there's still, it's not the same as it was before, but maybe you just got to approach it a little bit differently. Like, you got to put a little bit of thought into it.
Yeah.
Like, more than a little bit, I guess.
I feel like they've turned it into more of an actual game that you have to be playing. You have to put your building blocks in place and that kind of thing. It's just exactly what R.I.P. John Lee said.
Yeah, I think it's showing good signs. It's not.
Well, I think that's the way that it should be.
Yeah, as fun as it was, as great of an opportunity as it was to be able to slap a couple of Buterins together or whatever and do it on the El Cheapo and get, a wavelength or something. It's not how it really should be. There should be a level of randomness though, like what Dan Chan's been saying, like a level of it, like maybe a 0.01% chance you get that random roll out of, 100,000 breeds, there's this one random breed that just pops out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It felt like 1.0. It was like the opposite extreme.
Yeah.
Whereas I think at the beginning it was way too random at the beginning, and then they've kind of gone to the other extreme where it is predictable, but there's less of that lotto. So maybe if they can just bring it somewhere in the middle where every now and again there's a beast popping out and everyone gets excited and motivated to start racing again or breeding again.
The issue is definitely with a Genesis horse that doesn't have a strong distance preference or strong variance. Like, it's very deflating. Like
Yeah.
what do you do with that? And I think, like a lot of people have said, like there needs to be something to do with that horse.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, they're just going to die out. There's going to be like 95% of the Genesis horses that just disappear, and all just going to be racing from these like very few bloodlines, like or breeding from these very few bloodlines.
Yeah, it's going to be very condensed because everyone's
Yeah.
going to want to breed with the best if that's the only way that you can get ahead. But
Yeah.
and it's not just Genesis; it's the other horses as well that have been bred over time. Like they're just useless at that point once they get lapped. Like
Yeah. Obviously, it's hard if you had a bred horse that can't compete anymore. But
yeah,
that's going to happen to like every bred horse I see. But the Genesis, like being able to start a bloodline from something, I think is the most important.
and just having them actually be worth something, even if they're not good races, they should be able to do something. Like
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it might not necessarily be racing or breeding that is their value, but yeah, there has to be something. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe they could be creative with it.
Didn't you recommend to John Lee to do like dressage?
Oh yeah. Maybe they're really
Dressage or
good
something
at
like that.
dressage or maybe they're going to be really good at like jumping over fences or when it's really wet. So
Yeah.
I'd love it if every
Yeah.
Genesis horse had a different specialty. I think the ones that just have nothing, I think is just pretty hard on the people that own them.
yeah,
Maybe that.
I think
Yeah, maybe.
I think maybe another part that even the Budweiser pass kind of showed, even though there wasn't that much interest in it because it didn't even sell out, but having exclusive drops and stuff that only Genesis holders can have. Like, yeah, you can't breed it, you can't really race it, but without it, it's like your lotto ticket, it's your ticket into other portions of Z. Like,
Yeah.
it may not get you any value as such directly from the horse, but if you can access different things because you own a Genesis, that's going to drive some reason to own it as well.
Yeah, like with the token
Yeah.
company, I think
What
that's
if
what
like
people
simple little things like if you use a Genesis horse and it increases your ability to get a super coat or a particular color or whatever it is, there's lots of different ways they can bring in utility to Genesis horse. That it doesn't always have to be that they only are racers or breeders in Zedron.
Yeah. Well, I think it was Lucky Jack put that thing out maybe like a couple of weeks ago where it's like he was saying basically what we were saying before about that lottery chance, but the lottery chance can only come from a Genesis horse. So you have to breed with a Genesis Butte, for example, to get that chance at the lottery. And that would definitely get people wanting to breed with a Genesis Butte that's just absolute glue.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I can't fault it. Like, yeah, that's where you get the lottery chance from a Genesis.
Yeah.
Like, that's when people talk about breeding catalysts, they're like, that should be the breeding catalyst, the Genesis.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, makes sense. Sort of relates to the real world, like if you can breed with like the source of a bloodline, like that might be better than breeding with something further down the track.
Yeah. So, Maiden, Thursday. Are you taking a different strategy to maidens now? Now that it's not like once a month, it's just once every fortnight. You just sort of.
Yeah, they're not as exciting as before, I guess. When you could when it was like a big event, when the big prize pool is the key. Like if there was a big prize pool, then like I think we'd get really interested. I don't necessarily want it to go for a week. I think that's a long time, and a lot of races when you consider discovery and everything.
Yeah.
I think just if there was like a big enough prize pool to get people interested to breed, like they're only going to make money from people breeding. So I think they could really up the prize pool and make it like a big event every 2 weeks or even every month if it was a big enough prize pool.
Yeah.
That would really get us excited, get people thinking like, how can we win this? But now, like at the most, you can win like $100. It's hard to really
Justify.
get that excited about it, even though I'm sure we'll breed a few. But I don't know, Sarah, did you have any thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, exactly what you said. We had a lot of excitement at the beginning of Maiden One of it was to do with the prize pools were juiced, but that was also a time when they had grand finals. Everyone got to showcase what the new horse on the block was and stuff like that. So that's a little bit of a bummer that we don't really have grand finals anymore in Z Run. I'm sure there's probably a logical reason, or maybe not. But there's just not that excitement about doing maidens anymore.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think maybe moving it to once a month and then combining the two prize pools together would probably be better.
Well, I think they should even go further, like 4 times the prize pool, because originally it was going to be once a week, and then they cut that. So I think it should be like 4 times the prize pool, which is like if they could have a $60,000 tournament once a month for the maiden, I think that would be enough to get people interested.
Yeah,
like very interested.
And like you said, like they're getting money from the breeds. So if they crunch the numbers and go, hey, if we can 10x the amount of breeding for the month, just because of this, like they make their money back tenfold. Like just and people will get excited about it.
Yeah, I think the other thing they need to consider is they really need to reconsider the multiplier in discovery. It's a deterrent to racing your horses. You might want to breed them and put in the maiden, but then what can you do after? You're pretty much either benched up in C1, and you just don't have anywhere else to race those horses. So if people are not motivated to do the maiden because of discovery, like get rid of the multiplier, or do the old way where you used to have to earn your way up to class 1. You used to have to go through the other classes and discover your horse that way was a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah, I reckon that would be a lot better if we just went back to the old school way of like you had a base level. So like your Naks and your Zabos obviously basically started at class 3 and then just worked your way up.
Yeah, and I think if you had like a high Z horse, it could start lower, and that would give it more of a chance to qualify over the other horses as well. Just reading one of the messages in chat about how that might disadvantage the small stables. But I think also if there was segmented maidens, I think that would help as well. But make it feel like everyone has a chance of winning, even if you breed like a high Z number. Segmented maidens, there's no reason they can't have those sort of things.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. They could run basically what Lucky Jack does with a Buterin, a Finny, a Zabo, and a Nak. Like four different tiers, and you pick your poison. If you want to breed a Buterin with a Nak to, get into the Buterin one and have a better chance there, then go for it. But if you want to try and if what you're breeding is just pure Naks or pure Zabo or whatever, like, you just pick your poison.
Yeah, I think breeding.
100%.
Yeah, you have to breed to a plan now. Like, if you're just trying to breed the best horse in the game every time, you're probably going to be disappointed. But if you try to breed like a good elite, that's where you've got more chance of being successful.
Unless you go up against Danshan with a Z5.
On Z5, yeah. Well, that's where there needs to be like Z20 plus elites or something. Like, there's just so much segmentation just to give everyone a chance. Because you're right.
There is. There's so much opportunity, and I think that's what, I don't know, it's probably what gets you excited about Z as well. It's like the future is so bright because there's so much more that can be added. Like...
Yeah. It's...
For sure, and they're slowly doing it now with conditional tournaments and open class, but imagine if there was multiple conditional tournaments running at the same time, so that way you had to choose only this conditional tournaments with Nakamoto's or one with the Buterin, like you were saying before. So
there's just so much opportunity there that it can't be missed by people. And I think we've talked about it before, where it's anyone that's sticking around now, anyone that's building out now and figuring out how Z is working in its current state, instead of being hung up on, it used to be like this. Oh, I'm so disappointed it's not like this anymore. Instead of just getting hung up on it, moving forward and finding out what works now, because that's really the key to the future.
Yeah.
100%. That's probably been our biggest edges we're constantly adapting. Do we get frustrated when we have to 100%? But if we want to get ahead, you just got to constantly adapt and see where you're able to run in the current environment.
Yep.
Yeah, I see people that are really good at adapting, like stables that I really respect for how well they've adapted through all the changes. I think even they're getting frustrated now because we need to adapt like every 3 days. There's a complete revamp of the tournament system.
Yeah.
Like that's getting frustrating for people, I think. So I think probably the best advice is to just sort of maybe take a break from trying to adapt to everything right now. Just sort of wait till they figure things out, and then invest more money. Like if you're investing lots of money every time they make a small change, like that's going to be frustrating. But yeah, maybe everyone just needs to like sort of see how everything pans out with 2 times daily tournaments or conditional tournaments, and then work out, okay, there's going to be a pacer tournament once a month. So I know that if I breed a pacer, that's going to have a place in the game, and that's where people can start like focusing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think like we've obviously had the pacer one, we've had the cross one, but if you had a cross that performed well that you bred, the following month, if you've got another cross, you could be ready for the pacer tournament the following one. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
it's sort of giving you a building block to
Yeah. Which is why I wish they went the opposite direction. Like should have been legendaries and then exclusives, and yeah, got down to paces eventually. Like no one really has 230 paces that are any good yet. But
nah.
apparently that was more about like getting data or something.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what the intention, it must have been just to do with data, but that Z200 one was just like a joke. Like that was a joke. That was
I looked at the numbers.
Did you see what Reese named our one horse that we entered?
No, I didn't see. What was it called?
It was called Not Enough Z200 to Z267, I think.
Yeah, if you can search it up, just search Not Enough Z or something.
Not enough? Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, it got a third. It got 5.
It qualified. Well, it would have qualified. Well, every course qualified. It got 1/3. I was like cheering. I was like, "This is a good chance in the quarterfinal." It's qualified down low. Would have had an easy race, but yeah, it was never going to fit.
It is kind of funny though when you're doing these kinds of breeds and you're just sort of slapping some things together just to see what pops out.
Yeah. I think the one this week, the 100 to 200, I think that will fill. So I think people should really look at breeding something for that if they want something cheap to do.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the best one of all of them, because it's not the Z268. You could kind of cheat because you could just breed a Z268 pacer with any Genesis and make a Z268. Whereas this, you kind of have to target.
Mm.
Yeah, and there's hardly any good Z100 to 200s, like very few in the whole game. So yeah, it'll be about like people putting a Nakamoto Genesis with one or something. They'll probably end up winning, but it'll still be interesting to see. Worth a go.
I saw that horse, Nova. That pacer of 10.
Yeah, that was the one that I looked at before and realised that was probably going to be the best.
Yeah.
It's a shame that it didn't run.
Look at this thing. Made it to semis and podium plate. Like, what the fuck is this thing?
Yeah, for a Z200 and something, that's pretty good.
There's some really great breeders out there, Nova being one of them. It's sort of...
Was it Nova that was... I was racing some horses and all I kept seeing was Nova, and all these horses had Redman in it.
Yeah, that's
Every
Nova.
so often.
Yeah, that's Nova. He's probably still got him in there. Can't find him.
I think
too many
some of the
horses.
things they're doing well down there with that good pacer they bred, Smoke Noe.
Yeah.
I think they bred like probably the 2 best crosses together out of the breeding 2.0 breeds, and it produced the best pacer. Like I think that's a sign for what's coming. Like I think crosses can really
power creep is coming in.
Yeah, the power creep's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, so 2 good crosses are going to have a much greater power creep, than breeding 2 Nakamoto Genesis together. So eventually when there's a lot of good crosses, I think you're going to see a lot of good paces.
Yeah.
And that's, people are talking about like you can't breed a legendary Nakamoto that's better than Ready Set Boom, which is probably true. Like it might be like a 1 in 100,000 chance or something.
Yeah.
But I think the way to get a horse better than Ready Set Boom is not to come down from the top, but come up from the bottom. So like if you breed Smoke Noe with something else that's good, that's going to maybe get better. And then the next one might get better. And it's going to take a while, but I think eventually with the trend and seeing this power creep, like that's where you're going to see horses that are better than Ready Set Boom. A long time away, but I think it's looking promising.
Yeah, well, if you're breeding in that way, I mean, Ready Set Boom's a bit of an anomaly in the game anyway, but at least in that top tier where it can at least compete with Ready Set Boom, which is I think is probably just as important as being better than. If it can compete, at least get 10% win rate against Ready Set Boom is like, you've got an amazing horse. Like,
yeah, I think having
and sometimes Ready Set Boom has a bad roll, so he's still beatable.
He is.
Just like the other day, Heron beat him
Yeah.
in the State of Origin.
Yeah.
With Phantom Pacer. So you need, like you said, if you can get a horse that can at least somewhat compete with him, that's still pretty good.
Yeah, you don't need the best horse every time. Just keep looking to breed better and better. I think is the key.
Yeah, and I think when we start to really see these pulls from the previous lineage, that's when the crosses are going to be crazy. If you've built out a full cross line with just monsters from the start, you have that random chance every time you breed to pull from one of those, and that's gonna, that's where that power creep I think is really gonna come from, is when it starts pulling randomly and you get that next gen that's getting from right up the top tier.
Yeah, I think I want to see more data on like how much the ancestors affect the offspring. But there's definitely the signs there. There's a lot of I guess empirical evidence that it's working, but I'd like if there was a way to get some data on how much ancestors are affecting these breeds. Like that's where it'll get interesting. That's where you can maybe predict things a bit better.
Definitely.
But I'm saying that the parents are really what matters most right now, I think. But there is some that aren't very good, but they have good grandparents. So it's a lot to learn. It's not easy to figure out breeding, which is a good thing.
Well, I think it also makes it hard with, I don't know the exact numbers, but over 90% of the horses are all breeding one horses, where no one was really matching 2 sprinters together at that point. It was just, it's a good breeder or it has good base ability. Most people were breeding for base ability. It has high base ability. I'll breed with this one, because that was giving sort of giving you your best chance at getting a good offspring. That kind of messes it up now with 2. If it pulls from a side where it's like a marathon and a sprint, and you're aiming for a sprinter, and you're pulling marathon, and it stuffs it up a little bit. I don't know how it affects it.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's causing problems for a really good marathoner like Waveland, for example. His parents are marathoners, so that's not going to be as good a breed, probably. I shouldn't probably say that. We want to get a breed with Waveland eventually. But from a breeding 2.0 horse that has been bred as a marathoner down the line, that's probably going to be the most reliable breeder.
Yeah, it brings another aspect into it. It's like, well, is it that bad that it does that? Or how often does it actually happen? Can you still focus on whatever the parents are?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's where we just need more and more data to see where it's coming from, or understanding breeding talent. No one really understands what that is at the moment, so I think we just need.
I think that's the key thing everyone needs to be getting, breeding talent. That's
Yeah.
If this is in the game, it's been said this is part of the game, and yeah, I think we'll have more data on that. There's not enough breeds yet to know for sure which horses have it,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's what's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think we got a good 6 months before we can really tell, on the most part, what's actually happening here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you think maybe it'd be shorter or longer, but I think
we're slowly getting an idea. If you've got a mare that's consistently putting out good horses, I think it's safe to say that there's some breeding talent there. So just keep building on that. I think if you notice a bit of breeding talent, then keep looking for a better stallion to breed with.
Yeah.
Because they don't waste that breeding talent, I guess.
Yeah, Jarves brings up a good point that breeding decay could be brought in by that point, especially for a lot of the males, especially elites. Elites would be hitting breeding decay by that point.
Yeah. But then they could have a child which then has that, then they're good to go. They don't have any decay yet.
Yeah.
So I think it's very interesting that horses decay more down at Cross and Pacer. That's got to be clear evidence that those are going to be the best breeders one day.
Yeah.
Surely.
Where you've jam-packed so much into it. That's the only explanation for it, really. It's not about right here and now. It's about, 6 months, a year, 2 years from now when you've got these crosses and paces that are just jam-packed with really great horses all the way through.
Yeah, and you've got 4 breeds with that, and you're going to really have to think about what do I want to do with those 4 breeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do the same thing with wavelength. We have people asking us, can I breed with wavelength? And we're just because of decay, we only want to test out our Genesis horses at the moment. Do we have a little bit more understanding? But in saying that as well, your stable doesn't have to be the stable that's doing all the testing. We have access to all these tools. Your horse is hawky. You can go and look up and see how other people are testing their horses, and they might provide the data for you. So don't feel like you have to use up your own decay if you want to get the data that you need.
No, that's a very good point. It's a very good point to be sort of watching, and especially those really big stables PK does a lot of breeding. Looking at someone like that who does a lot of breeding every month to see sort of what's coming out of those stables that just sort of are trying lots and lots out.
Mm-hmm.
And look at who the big stables are breeding with. When there's a good stallion that comes up on the Stud Master or something, I always see the same stables breeding with it when it's a good option. Have a look. It's always Arbitrage, Diamond Hands, Galactic. They're taking all 3 breeds whenever it's good. So, watch what they're doing and try to beat them, I guess.
What do you think of the old Stud Master? That's been a hot topic over the last couple of weeks or week and a half.
Yeah, it's been a bit controversial.
I think personally, I like it.
I
like it because prior to this, it wasn't open to everyone in Zedrun. People were accessing the blockchain before this, so it's something that's been going on since Zedrun started, basically. But I love having fairness in the ecosystem, and if someone's created a way to be able to do that, and it's for free, it's not like you have to pay for it, so why not? It's about adapting. If other people are being savvy and getting on board with it, then I recommend that people do the same.
Well, you go, Reese. You were going to say something.
I was just going to say, it's taken a little bit of adapting, because before, it was just so easy and profitable to have a horse like Secret Strategy that we could just breed quickly for a fairly cheap price, and then we have 3 offspring worth quite a lot. But it's now you've got to be wary. If you do that, you're going to lose a lot of money because people are going to probably smuggle. So as long as we're aware that's going to happen, then we have to just work out what we price it at if we want to breed it ourselves, or is it just better to put it in at a fair price that 3 pups will get taken at, and then we earn that money, which then we can use for different stages for our mares, and then we can watch the Stud Master and look for different things. And it's a great way we're getting new blood in our stable. Other people are getting access to this blood that we wouldn't have previously. So I think it's once you get adjusted to this, I think it's definitely a good thing for the game.
It's 100% a good thing. And for me, there's a lot of horses. You can't keep an eye on every single horse out there. Like, there's some amazing horses you don't even know their names, especially if you're not in Class 1. And, like, I don't spend any time in Class 1, so I don't know the names of these horses and what they do and how profitable they are. And with Studmaster, it's given me a notification, hey, have a look at this horse. And I'm like, oh, what the hell is this? I've never heard of this horse before. Maybe I will breed with it. I think it actually helps the ecosystem to get more people breeding with horses they might not have bred with before, because they just don't have the eyes on every single horse in the game.
Yeah, that's the other great thing. There's a lot of stands that we put in that have never got any attention. But now they show up on Studmaster and we get like 3 breeds immediately. So like, it's just a free advertisement for any good.
And we're like, damn it, we've been hiding those horses under the radar, and people are them now.
Now you can't read them yourself.
Well, I mean, I think the other flip side is it increases the prices of your studs. If people are, like, for some people, maybe they wouldn't have got their studs taken before. Now they do get their studs taken. For other people, they've got great horses that would have sold for a decent amount of money, but just never had eyes on it or just never had the opportunity. But now that Studmaster's there, like, you can increase the price and not feel bad if you're not going to take them yourself, and it'll get eyes. People will be able to get some of that fresh blood, like you were saying. Especially those bigger stables that really bred a lot in-house, and by in-house I don't just mean in their own house, within the select group of people they were sharing it with.
Yeah. I think the one downside is sort of...
The only...
Oh, you go, Sarah. Yeah.
I was going to say, the only other thing that I would personally keep in mind with the Studmaster is have a look at the stats of the horse. Even though it's coming up that it has a high win rate and stuff like that, just double check. Where did they get that from? Is that all from freeze, or is that paid racing? Because Studmaster, even though it shows up on the alert, doesn't necessarily mean that it might be the best available stallion, if you know what I mean. So just have a look at the data and understand. I'm not saying people have like padded their stats, but understand a horse might perform way differently in free races compared to paid racing. So that will give you an idea what kind of good racer that you're going to be breeding with.
Yeah, it's also biased towards like high variance horses that will show up more because they'll have a higher win race. Whereas like a good marathon or a good sprinter might not make the cut with that criteria. They probably need to adjust that criteria that things show up. Like for example, the one you got on the screen there, Nightway, like that has a race very often and has a race for a long time.
Yeah.
And probably had those wins at a time when the ecosystem was a lot different.
Yeah, especially when you see these ones with like 83 entries and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think the cutoff is like 50 entries at over 15%. So if it's an old Genesis horse, they could pop up, because if it was ran back, basically a year ago now, it's possible that it got those stats. They benched it because, well, that's what everyone does, right? If it's not really going to perform, you're gonna bench it, leave the stats. So yeah, you're exactly right there. You can't just jump on there unless it's a name horse, like you know the horse specifically. Jump in there, like the link is there. It's super easy. Like, just click straight on the Hawku link.
Yeah, on the flip side, though, if you own a horse like that, then definitely protect its record. And make sure it shows up. Get some stud money.
Yeah, you see, they just padded it completely, going through Discovery, and then just parked it.
That's it.
And then just
it actually looked pretty impressive. Looking at that, that's a very impressive Discovery. I think it bred something really good at one point. This horse, I don't know. It's actually probably pretty good. Just hasn't been raced much.
Yeah, not shitting on the horse. It's just going
like horses like this. We had one show up that we were like, what the hell? Like, put an alert for something. I put it in. Like, just some donkey, but it just had enough win rate in free races.
Yeah, like it really hasn't raced that much. Like I mean, I don't know about yous before, but if I was searching for a stud, I'd be looking for over 100 races. If I was actually looking for a horse,
Yeah, and look at what it's done recently. Probably is the key as well. Yeah, the one downside for all this stud market is some of the bitterness it's created in the community. Like it's difficult to do a deal with someone. Like before, you could say hey, can I brief your mare, and then you can organise it. But then now you can't do it for an affordable price, and they've got to beat the snipers. So it makes it difficult to do deals and difficult to sort of build friendly relationships. But Sarah and I were talking about, I think there's other ways you can work with stables. It might not all be about breeding now. It's about just sort of working together and sharing knowledge, and there's lots of other ways you can still work together.
Yeah, definitely knowledge is the biggest thing. I mean, talking to people like yourselves who have, made a stand in the game, built up just like everybody else, maybe a different bank balance or whatever else, but, the concept is all the same, whether it's, going from some elites all the way up to a Genesis on the Buter and Finney side, or whatever you so choose is your path. It's basically the same journey. It's just on different levels, and everyone can sort of help each other out. Look at Wessy's breeds with his crosses and paces. You don't have to be going for 0.25 half an eighth breeds with Nakamoto gens. You don't have to do that. It's not critical to actually have fun and make money in the game.
Yeah, and breeding with Nakamoto gen might seem like an awesome thing to do, but it's really only worthwhile if you have your own really good Nakamoto gen and you make it legendary. If you're probably going to get a good breed with something a bit cheaper that has good bloodlines. Find a good, if you have an elite horse, find another good elite horse that you can breed with. Obviously breeding Nakamoto gen at the minimum is good if it's a good horse, like I did. But paying thousands of dollars probably isn't the best option. This is where, if you're putting a really top Nakamoto Genesis in at the minimum, then there's no horse in the game that shouldn't breed with it. Every single horse in the game should be trying to snipe that breed.
Especially when it's that cheap. Especially when it's that cheap. Yeah. I almost grabbed it myself, just out of principle.
That's it. I didn't really have time to choose the best possible option I could. I just this is going to be very popular. Here's something that I've been looking for, a good Genesis, and you just didn't have too much time to think about it. If you price it, if that's a bit higher, if that's 0.15, then I'm I'm not breeding my Buter with it. That's where only people with a good mare are going to breed it at that price. So the higher you price it up, the better mares you're going to get breeding with your horses.
Yeah. And what I never understood was, if you priced it at double the floor of minimum and you get your 56% back, most people are going to be priced out, but you still get it at the same price as you would have. You can do what you need to do still. I mean, it's costed you double. It's costed you what it costs retail. But your horse isn't worth retail. That's kind of the point. Your horse isn't worth retail, just general price, if it's getting sniped. That's...
if you price it too low, it gets sniped. Yeah.
That's enough out of you, Westy. We're not talking about that. It's been 2 months.
And I can understand the people's frustration when they have plans and get sniped. It happens to us so much.
And that's
just new game now.
And a lot of people don't feel that way because they've never had a breed sniped, because they don't have anything worthwhile sniping, on the most part. It's true. If you don't have something worthwhile sniping, then you don't really know the pain of it.
I mean, it
it kind of feels been upset before. Like it does feel like somebody's like stolen from you or something, but it's not the right perspective once you sort of calm down and realize like, okay, like I did make money from that. Like they paid me money to breed the horse, so
Exactly.
it's not the end of the world.
And sometimes it might surprise you. I don't know if it's happened with you, but like it might just surprise you what they've bred with and how it turns out. Maybe it actually ends up being a good thing that they took the breed because they tried something a little different and paid you for it, paid you for the data.
Yeah, that's
Exactly, and that comes back to our ancestry. If they got a good horse and it comes back to seek the strategy or wavelength, like that's great for us because, then more people will be inclined to want to breed with the horses that we have.
Yeah, I think then
and then you can like reach out to them and say like, hey, that was really good, I'll pay you for the next one or something. Like do the same thing next time.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Thanks for joining there, Willie Rover. I feel the same, mate. I wish someone would snipe my breeds too. Yeah.
Well, this is where it's going to get interesting. People that put horses in there that have the same name as other well-known horses in the game, but aren't actually that horse.
Yeah, the ones with the space or like a slight space in there or like a different... But at the same time, if they don't have good enough stats, they're not going to show up.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah.
Yeah, but they could be in there already. And people are like waiting to snipe Breathless Edge and then get the wrong Breathless Edge.
Yep.
That's what happened there somewhere.
Yeah.
I just gave Mark an idea. Yeah, it's probably not going to work. For most,
it could become a problem.
It could become a problem, but that's why you got to check the horses first before you just go grabbing it. That's one good thing about the Studmaster one is you've got like 5-6 minutes before it actually appears.
Yeah.
So you got that 5 minutes to do a quick little read through. Oh, yep, that one looks all right. Yep, no worries.
Yeah. I just sort of probably the best way to approach it with your mares is just have like a good understanding of them and understand like what you're looking for, and then when that comes up, you'll know like this is the mare I want to breed for this, and you're ready to go.
Breathless versus Grandeur. Yeah, I mean, I was waiting for like 2 weeks. I was just since that Studmaster came out, I was actually taking even more time, just on the off chance that something did pop up that I wouldn't normally be able to afford, and just held on to it and just waited. I mean, I've still got another got till Thursday to the maiden. So if you
that's a great idea. Yeah, you don't breed the mares the instant they become available. Like maybe there's something good shows up.
Yeah, especially with this now, because some of them are going in so cheap as well. Like, it's not so much the Knacks. Some of those Zabos are going in like, floor price, just 0.0594. That's it. That's all they're going in. And there's some really good horses in that you can pick up.
Yeah.
Also, if you end up finding a really good horse in there, you can look at Know Your Horses and go back and have a look at the breeding log and see if there's a consistency of a time that they normally put it in the stud barn. So if you know it's going to be 7 p.m. your time 28 days from now, like, that's a good tip just to keep an eye on if you're looking for that particular stallion. Not trying to help people snipe better, just,
that's thinking like at the next level.
No, but it's human behaviour, and I thought that it was going to change when the breeding all reset for all the horses. You know, when they didn't say if it was going to go back to the original birth dates or not, like, because that would have made it super interesting if they had have reset it so it always reset on the same day for every single horse. Then it would have really mixed it up. But most people, they breeded it like around about within a couple of days of the same every single cycle. Like, and around the same time. Like, Poseidon is the worst for it. Poseidon does it every time. The prices have changed on their horses recently, but...
they've been clever with. They didn't try to put Grandeur.
We saw them put Grandeur in there the other night, I think.
Yeah.
And we didn't snipe it. we have a bit of a relationship with them, so I would prefer to try and make a deal. But,
Yeah, 100%. You'd
I think it-
rather make a deal, but there are others out there that do exactly the same thing. Like, and they go bang, bang, bang. They put like 6 or 7 horses in at once.
yeah. That reminds me, Reese, we're going to have to start chopping and changing our days that we put our studs in, so no one knows.
Yeah, there's. I don't want to ever put something in there that I'm afraid of getting sniped now. Like, because I've just got to assume that it's going to get sniped. So I'll put it at a price where it gets sniped. I'm like, oh, all right, now I've got that money to use for something else. Like,
Yeah.
don't. It's just such a gamble. I think now. Like,
It is such a
people might
gamble.
want to live that way. But
I think personally, if it was me, I'd rather put it in for that extra and then maybe using 50% of those funds that you've gained from getting taken to go, maybe if you've got another horse in mind that's maybe a little out of reach, this is for everybody else, not so much you guys, but, you know, taking that extra money that you've got from the breeds and maybe putting that on top of what you would have used anyway, and then maybe upgrading who you're actually breeding with and reaching out to someone and organising a breed as opposed to, you know, just settling for what you have. If you can sell a couple of studs and then upgrade yourself to something better for that one breed, isn't it better off to do that? I mean, that's kind of how I see it.
yeah, 100%. That's the way to look
Yeah, 100%. I think that's what we do. Yeah. Or we'll go out and spend it on a nice bottle of wine, a good dinner on the river, you know.
Yeah. The gas fees are growing, it'd be more than that.
Reese is like, yeah, I could just buy another horse.
What's the line eventually?
You'll be racing Zed at a winery that you own.
Yeah. So be patient. We know all the one at all.
We'll have the Roidrager winery track.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, yeah. We want to get a track. If they start selling race tracks, like, we're in the market. We love the track.
Yeah, we're ready.
Nah, Mark. I'm pretty sure Reese is actually racing right now. I haven't stopped them from racing.
Alright. Yeah, I never stop.
There's
Always racing.
There's no stopping. There's no stopping it. That's the key to your success is never stop. Never stop.
Oh yeah, I thought everyone realised this is why we recruited Reese's son. So while we're busy doing this, he's in the back end doing all the racing for us.
Yeah.
You better be doing racing, because he's going to get in trouble if he hasn't. It's his job now. he made $2 yesterday.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, happy about that. I guess.
He was so excited for $2 becoming like 10th or something.
Yeah, he ended up in a quarterfinal with Waveland. I'm like, I'm so sorry. But he's like, I want $2. Like,
Well, one
but
part.
then, of course, Ethereum went down, so we lost like about $25. It's not great.
Oh, it's
What I
so
get about is winning $2. Like, you can win like such a small amount, but then Ethereum drops 1%, and your account balance is just gone down by so much more. Like, yeah, it doesn't add up to me.
yeah, it's a bit tough for people trying to do this as a job as such at the moment, especially with crypto being the way that it is. But for other people like myself, I looked at Zed from the beginning, and like I was mining Ethereum before, well, I still am, but I saw it as an avenue to generate ETH after ETH stopped mining, and giving you an opportunity like with the price drops. I think it's great because I'm actually getting more ETH for my money. Like
Yeah.
$100 worth of ETH is like not $100 worth of ETH.
Yeah, no, I hear
Weren't
you.
you telling me yesterday, Reese? Somebody bought a bunch of Lego with Ethereum or something.
Yeah, I saw on Twitter someone bought one Ethereum worth of Lego, and it was like they realized that's a lot of Lego. I thought it was funny.
That
I
is
think that's a great thing to do. Like, instead of buying like some junk NFT, buy some Lego. At least you can play with it.
Lego's great. Lego's an appreciating asset. It is actually an asset. like depending on what you
Yeah,
buy.
yeah. And look after it, and
Keep the box, keep the plastic bags they come in.
it seems like only adults play it now. Though. I think all the people I see shopping at Lego stores are like, 35-year-old men. Like, kids aren't interested anymore. They've got YouTube.
No, they want to play the Lego on PlayStation or Xbox. They don't want to actually build Lego.
Yeah, like Minecraft basically Lego.
Yep.
These days.
Yeah, it's a changing world, but I think more and more kids are getting able to learn about blockchain and building. I think from games like Roblox and Minecraft and that, like you look at Decentraland and all that kind of stuff, it's moving away from Zed, but you know, more and more kids are growing up with blockchain and seeing opportunities for being able to express themselves through, you know, building, whether it's, you know, building out a game like Zed Run or just, you know, putting their designs out there. Like, can you imagine if there was a skin kind of builder that some kid could get paid royalties on because they built something and put it out
Yeah,
there?
these kids are going to be smoking us, like, easily. There's going to be a 10-year-old kid already retired because he just grew up on blockchain or knowing how to do stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, kids are going to be the ones dominating this.
I mean, you look at your son, and then you got Sniff with Chloe Racing.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the that stable, the one that runs like 1,000 races a day. That has all his family doing it.
Oh, yeah.
You've got like whole like warehouse full of children putting in Z200 for him.
But
would explain it.
But I mean, even the $2, you think about $2 for us is like nothing, but when you start moving into like the Axie sort of style where, you know, you've got people in, you know, semi-third world countries earning $2 US, but that's enough for, you know, enough food for a couple of days. You know, it makes a big difference, and I think that's where the big influx moving forward with Zed's going to be, is that segmentation and giving opportunity on the low end and the top end for everyone to be either making money or breaking even and enjoying themselves.
I think, a lot of people said that the small payouts sort of show what Zed are thinking, that they want to move towards that style where, people are just like grinding out a few dollars a week and that's enough. And I think there should be a place for that, but I don't want that to become the whole game, because if that's the whole game, then it's not a game I want to play. I think it's a game that will work for those hundreds of thousands or millions of people that want to work as, what they call them, scholars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's not a game I want to play. Like, I don't want to be just lending out all my horses and then just come back and realise I've made like $20.
Yeah.
Like, I want to play the game. I want to have the thrill of winning a big prize pool or something. Like that's what we want to play.
Well, I think that comes down to the segmentation as well. I think with segmentation coming, you're going to have like, we've had 2 C1 Prems, but it'd be like a Premier class where the big boys play for the real money. Not the...
And the big girls.
And the girls, of course. Sorry, my bad.
Well, I think people point out an issue with that is they're rewarding at the very bottom, and then they're rewarding at the very top, but what about the middle? So, like, everyone wants a piece of the pie, and someone gets left out every time. And now this sort of the middle class is being forgotten about, but there's just not enough to go around right now.
No, there's not enough.
Everyone wants it.
There's not enough to go around because there's not enough people. There's not enough money coming in. There's not enough money coming in for it to be spread evenly across, well, not even evenly, but enough to spread across everyone. Like, if we had the same influx as like July, August, the amount of people, like, you couldn't even get into a race. Like, paid racing was stacked. That multi-entry, because they are bringing back multi-entry for paid, aren't they? They said that the other day.
They said a lot of things.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they said that they say a lot of things.
They have said something for sure.
But I mean, multi-entry, that was like the best back then, especially when you knew there was a couple of good horses that were stuck already and they weren't filled. Like, you'd see them, they were stuck in their 3 paid races, and then you jump in the 3 that weren't, and everyone else would as well because the good horses were stuck in those 3.
But are they stuck at the moment in one race?
Well, yeah, they are. But if you had,
I don't know.
it's more about the amount of people. It's a combination of the two things, I think. You need more people because there's not enough running paid for those races to actually go.
I think it doesn't change the fact that paid racing is still going to be dominated by the very small few horses. It's something that it's a step in the right direction. And if paid racing was like thriving, then you want to get in 3 races at once. You don't want to sit around all day.
Yeah, and I liked it back when you could get paid for the free races. When free racing, there was money there because they were taking the rake from the paid racing, putting it into frees, and it was good for the smaller stables because they could take the $3 that they won or $4, and then I'd just roll it back into a paid race for the chance at more money. Like, that's what I do.
That's how Sarah got started. I initially introduced her that way through the free races. Do you remember that?
Yeah, how quick did you have to be to get into those free races?
You were so good at it. You just had like this awesome system.
I was ready.
You were smashing.
Yeah,
You
I
were
did have a
making
good
like
system.
hundreds of dollars a day nearly.
I know, and then they stopped it, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there was bots either. I think it was just, you just had to be so quick.
I think there probably was some bots, but most people were just hammering it. Like, it was one page open on one side with Know Your Horses. I don't know if you did the same thing. You had one side open with Know Your Horses, and then as soon as the race ended, you knew it was going to generate exactly the same on the other side.
Yeah, you knew when they were going to generate,
Yeah, because so you could just keep refreshing until it was that last, 30 metres of the race or whatever it was. It was something like that. The last 30 metres, that's when the race was going to generate, and you just had to be so fast.
Yeah, but it was
I got it
rewarding.
to a point where refreshing my page, I knew exactly where, because it always glitches a little bit.
Yeah.
Like the race moves down, so I got it to the point where I knew where my mouse had to be just to get in the gate.
Yeah,
That
and we worked
determined
out,
to get in.
like the best gates to get in that people didn't choose often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very worthwhile. But I can see, like, it would have, I don't know, it wasn't the best system. It was great if you could get in, but it just rewarded people that were quickest. Like, it didn't really reward the best players of the game.
But there was a lot more people as well. I think if they had something similar to that now, like, the user base has dropped by, 75%. I don't think it would be as fast. And you didn't even have, this brings me back to something that I've talked about with a few people is Stacknax has kind of ruined the game a little bit. Because before you didn't have it. Like, you just thought, I'm good at 1,000 meters or 1,200 or whatever, and you just went for it. You didn't think about it. You didn't survey the field because you couldn't. It would take you too long. Like, it would fill up before you could actually get in there between going through all the different horses in the race, and you just couldn't do it. Like, you would just jump in. And now people are so wary of what other horses are in a race that they just don't even enter a race at all.
Yeah, why are you going to bet on something that you know you're going to lose?
Which, it's just a recycling problem, though, is you can't fill the race because there's too many horses in there that are just too good for you. So it kind of stagnates the paid racing as well. Even in free racing, it's the same. You see it all lined up with, the new Stacknax one is the lime green around the outside of the horse. And you know that it's a down class. And you see 10 or 12 down classes. If you're trying to down class, you just don't go in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. People, in order for people to win money in paid racing, people have to be losing money. And no one wants to lose money, which is fair enough. And now everyone knows when they're going to lose money. So why would they enter? And that's it has killed paid racing. It's not the sole reason, but
it's not.
It's it's definitely assisted the death of paid racing.
Well, I almost like that idea of the double up in paid racing for maybe like conditional double ups, where if you're in the top 50% of the field, you know, you double your money up. I think that would really stimulate paid racing. Like, you don't have to be the best horse, you just have to be the top six horse.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
if they just had like
I
lots
think
of
that's
different
cool.
ways races got paid out, I think that would help. I think
Yeah.
if that was the only other way,
Yeah.
eventually the horses that would often run the top six would just dominate those races as well, and then those races would get tougher and tougher until the point no one enters. So I think it has to be like a constantly changing, like it has to be just new horses all the time. If it's just the same horses racing all the time, you're gonna know like I don't want to enter that race. But if there was like I always talk about stricter fatigue, that would create like different horses all the time. You'd go in a race and you wouldn't worry about the field because you know like probably most of the good horses are fatigued. Like now you know that no horse is fatigued. Like there's every chance that the best horse is going to enter this race. So people are afraid. But if there wasn't that fear there, then people would enter. People love racing. They just don't want to be dumb about it.
Yeah, I think I changed the fatigue in some way, even if it was like, instead of being the 8 races and then you're done for 12 hours, maybe even like three races in an hour. Because like people want to jump on for like a short period of time, on the most part. They want to jump on for a short period of time. But then if you did like 3 races, you're completely fatigued, but you recovered it in the same amount of time. So you have basically like an hour's break.
Yeah.
There's lots of ways they could work it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like just doing it slightly different. I don't know what would work. It's hard.
I'd love them to.
I think there's a combination of things that need to happen for this to work. Like onboarding as well could help with this. If the more people are active in the ecosystem, you're not going to feel like you're versing the same horses over and over again, or getting dominated by the same horses over and over again, because you're versing so many different people.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a lot of things need to happen for it to be thriving, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good point. Eventually, we shouldn't need fatigue because there's going to be so many horses, and people are going to be racing. Like people are always going to want to race, so you don't need to worry about it. But right now, there needs to be something done to sort of help people want to race.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even really remember, but like when it was nuts with the free racing and that, what was that, like July, August, like there was no need for fatigue at all. Like I didn't notice a need for fatigue because it was just like you just couldn't get in. Like if you
when you had to wait like 12 hours for the race to run.
That's right, I forgot about that. You put you put it on
that
the
was
night.
the issue back then.
You put it on the night before so you could watch it first thing in the morning.
I did hate that. Like, because I would go on all my races in the morning. You could go on 3 with each horse, and then you knew 12 hours later you could watch them all. Like, it was pretty slow, but at least right now you can't really go on anything. So it was better than that.
Yeah.
I think what happened was eventually that got better and better, but it was only because less and less horses were racing, and then it got to the point where there was no fatigue and horses could race. There was one horse I think raced 200 times a day, and they were just like printing Ethereum. And like that became a problem because no one wants to go against those horses, and it was slowly dying without any fatigue, for sure. But
yeah, I wish I'd been clear about what kind of horse that I had back then, when I had no idea. It was like literally my second ever breed. Get a U-shaped horse, had no idea what it was, benched it for a month, thinking it was garbage.
Oh, no. Yeah, those U-shaped horses. It was just unlimited free money, basically, with a U-shaped horse back then.
Yeah, what an idiot.
And you bring it out in like this fatigue, and yeah.
Oh, so good, so good.
But that makes you think about stuff they do nowadays. Like some people complain or whinge and maybe take things for granted that are happening right now. So, I mean, what if prize pools become non-existent in the future, you know? So
that is a good point. Or maybe it's because they have talked about seasons for so long, like for a while now. Maybe this NASCAR Pass to Bud Pass is the start of what they are deeming like seasons, where these juicer tournaments only happen to pass holders of some kind in the season. If you don't own one, then you can't come in, and that kind of opens up to what you were saying about those juicer prize pots for the big players. Maybe only the real big players go into these, $100, $200, $300,000 like tournament style, where you have to have a pass to do it, and the general folk are focused on everyone gets paid out races, and you pay your 0.15 or whatever it ended up being, but that gets you your entry. Like, that's part of your entry to get in, to sort of get it against everybody else who wants to do the same thing with the best of the best horses. Maybe that is a good direction to go.
Yeah, I definitely love the idea of seasons.
Oh yeah, we'd definitely be entering the higher prize pools or juice prize pools over dailies.
Yeah.
For $1 or $2 or.
The one thing I like with seasons is there can be like a crop of newly bred horses for that season, and then you only race horses within that pool for that season. Like, all the horses born in the last month are in a separate sort of class, and they race each other. They go in tournaments with each other. That would prevent so that means for the first season of your new horse doesn't have to go against Ready Set Boom or any of those horses, because you're just racing your own type. You're racing the new horses, and there'll be horses emerge from that turn out to be really good and can take the next step. Like, it's just sort of like real horse racing. The 2-year-old horses don't go into the open class ones.
Yeah.
They race against other 2-year-olds, and so they have that 1 year where they're not exposed to anything too good because they're not developed enough. They're not as good yet.
Yeah.
And I think that could be a good way to encourage breeding and reward the newer horses a bit more. And like, that can be sort of the discovery class, the way that it should be.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. That it's just you separate. Yeah, definitely. It's like separating out the new horses from the old horses, and just it's a level It's a level playing field at that point,
Yeah.
And I think it also goes to like your level of breedability, like how good of a breeder you are. Like, if you turn out to be a really good breeder, then you might dominate that season, and then that really sets you up for the next season.
Yeah. I think, so each season there's all the new horses against each other, and you can really focus on breeding for that season. Like, you should be able to earn your breed cost back in that first season, however long it goes for, a month or 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to see that come in. It'd be nice.
Yeah, like
that could be the new discovery.
Yeah.
28-day discovery or something. You're only versing the other bred horses for 28 days, and when your time is up, then you choose if my horse is good enough to go against other C1 horses, then go in those races, or
I
work
think you should
your way
still
up,
have the
whatever it
option.
is.
You can go out of your class if you're dominating the new horses. Then you should have that option. Like, you can go race up if you want to.
Yeah.
Because people don't want to have to wait 28 days in order to test themselves. So there's always that option. You can go out and race against the best if you want, but you don't have to.
Yeah, I really miss being able to go race upper class. That used to be great.
There's no issue with it at the moment. Like, they took it away because of people downclassing, using it to downclass, but it wouldn't, with the ELO system, that would be of no benefit to you, because you couldn't downclass racing up a class. You wouldn't lose any points. So there's no reason that they can't have that right now.
Well, I remember in the old system, you could gain points, but you couldn't lose points if you raced up a class.
Yeah, that was a brief. They had like
Was it?
a brief transition where that was the case.
Yeah.
I think there was an issue with that as well. I can't remember, but they got rid of that. Yeah, I don't know what people were doing wrong, but they were just really trying to encourage people to get up to class 1. So they didn't want anyone sitting down.
Actually, I know what was wrong with it. I was just sitting down in class 5 with Wavelength and just picking off class 1 races and class 2 races, and
Yep.
that was a problem.
No, but that's how it is now. There's class 5 horses. You look at the tournament, there was Class 6 horses who were beating Class 1 horses. Like, that same thing has happened. Those heavy distance preference that can down, even on the worst down days, they're down in Class 6 and Class 5, just cleaning up. Like, it's just as hard as a sprint in Class 5 as it is in, well, for 1,000 metres at least, in Class 5 as it is in Class 1. Because they're just heavy distance preference horses that are able to stay there.
Yeah, I'd say there's a slight. It's definitely gets slightly easier the further you get down in class, but it's still like paid racing is still very hard no matter what class you're in.
Yeah, maybe not Class 1, but those horses should be at least in Class 2.
Yeah, there's very little difference between Class 2 to Class 5. Like, paid racing's pretty much the same in all those classes. Like, you still need a really strong distance preference horse.
Yeah.
With a good variance.
Which just means that ELO does not work, or at least the system that we have doesn't work. Like, it's just proof. It's just proof that it doesn't work. Like,
yeah.
Hopefully they have enough data on that to do something about that. I'm not sure.
Class 2 is the best class of pads.
Yeah. Westy's actually got a good point. I find Class 2 is actually the easiest because everyone in Class 2 is afraid to get into Class 1, so they go down to Class 3. And then Class 2 ends up being fairly easy. And yeah, you probably got the most volume as well.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because I have a horse that it flamed in a Class 2 race, and then I thought, I'll take it down to Class 3. It will kill down there. But then it can't flame and can't compete down there. Like, I think definitely Class 3 seems to be really, really tough.
Yeah, I think Class 3 is that borderline where if you've got too much base ability, you can't go any further. But especially mids in Class 3 is like the hardest.
Yeah.
Because you're at that point where you don't have that distance preference negative to be able to go back any further into Class 4, but you're kind of stuck and then you're just floating between Class 3 and Class 2.
Yeah, I haven't found any newly bred horse that can get below Class 3. Like, they just refuse to. They just will not go further.
Yep.
They're just too high base ability.
Yeah, and if you've got a knack or a Zabo, you're basically, like, stuck in Class 2 or Class 1.
Yeah, probably Class 1 more likely.
So this is why people downclass in Discovery. It's doing the opposite. It's encouraging people to downclass because they don't want to be stuck.
Yeah. I mean, I liked what Ebbs was talking about making it completely random. So, like, you basically just enter Discovery. You just say, hey, I'm entering my horse after the maiden. You just enter your horse into Discovery. You say, yes, I'm entering it in. And then that's it. You don't get to choose who you go against, what you're actually racing. It's just every single distance is done. Like, it's sequentially. You don't get a choice. Like, you can't downclass. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
It's just like you're going up against whatever horses are there at that time that get entered in as well. I think that's true Discovery. I mean, yes, it doesn't help you in the game to get down to... But at the same time, you're not going up against people who are trying to downclass. So maybe it actually gives you more of a true telling of where you should really be.
Yeah, I don't know.
But don't we want to leave a little bit of mystery to some of the horses?
No mystery. Just straight into it.
Because I think sometimes that's how, I'll look at a horse and I'll be like, this person has thought it's a mid-runner when clearly I look at it and I see it's a marathoner. So I'm going to buy it for that cheaper price that they have or whatever. So
True. There is that other aspect, I guess.
Yeah, I think people want to have fun actually
just
racing.
get rid of the multiplier in Discovery.
I think just getting rid of class points altogether in Discovery is the way to go.
Oh yeah, why do you need class points?
Why do we need class points? Like, just have some races to discover your horse.
Yeah.
And then you get dropped in a class depending on your Z number or something like that.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Just use Discovery as actually discovering and learning. Like, use it as a learner for the horse, and it has no impact on it. What happens to it after the fact?
Yeah, and then you're more encouraged to actually win your race.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good way to do it.
Yeah, lots of good ideas. Like I
But
always
yeah,
see
who
lots of
knows?
good
I think
ideas.
we're talking too much logic here, Redman.
I know. Is this because Lucky's not here?
It is. It's
Yeah.
no one's gone for a toilet break. Does anyone need one?
No? Yeah.
We do have to get to
Anyone
a
need a
movie.
smoko break?
We're going to see Jurassic World.
Oh yeah, we do have to go. You want us to talk about State of Origin?
Oh,
State
yes.
of
Oh, yeah.
Origin.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
You tell about State of Origin.
Well, State of Origin. We have 2 more rounds that we need to do. And we were talking about Ben. I just want to acknowledge Ben from Pony Run has been doing a lot of work in relation to Z of Origin. So thanks, Ben. So for the next round, what we're going to do is we're going to spin the wheel. We're going to make the wheel decide what breed type and what Z number you're allowed to enter into round 2 of Z of Origin. And then round 3, if you're on Team New South Wales, you have to pick a blue horse. And if you're on Team Queensland, you have to pick a red or a maroon. We're still debating if you're allowed to pick a purple horse in the Queensland team, but
Electric
to
Violet
be
is not,
determined.
not maroon.
Oh, we're still in discussion about that. But also in game 3, Reese has come up with something extra special. I'm not going to reveal what it is because we're still in the works trying to organize it. But if we can get it together, game 3 is going to be epic.
Nice.
Yeah. Still organising it, but something to look forward to, hopefully.
So you wanted to do it as just your level, your Genesis. Did you want Genesis on there? Or no Genesis?
I don't know, Sarah. What we haven't decided yet.
Haven't decided?
Yeah,
We haven't decided. We're just going to... Well, rule number 1 is you're not allowed to enter any horses that you entered in round number 1. That's all I know. And then we were just going to make the wheel decide. What if we don't have any Genesis horses? Why don't we make it a little bit more interesting? That way we don't know who's going to win, you know?
Yeah, I like that. No Genesis this time round.
Yeah.
Only bred horses.
Only bred horses, yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't have like maiden horses though, because then they'd be entering races before their Griffin, and like that was going to be an issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because State of Origin is on the Monday or something? No, on the Sunday.
Sunday.
And the Maiden's on the Monday.
2 weeks away. Yeah, the Maiden will be the next day.
Oh, well, whatever works. Are you going to put out a post or something?
Yeah, we'll put out some information, more information on it. But yeah, after we spin the wheel, whatever it is, then we'll reach out to everyone, send out some information, and if you have to breed a horse, breed a horse. If you got one available, enter it in, and let's get going.
Sweet.
I'm pretty confident no matter what, Queensland will be good. So
Is that right?
yeah.
New South Wales has done a lot of work, and we're gonna put a bit more thought into our selection process. I think.
You need to redo your lineup.
In there.
Redo your lineup.
Yeah. We need some star recruits, maybe. Should be fun though.
Should
It
be.
was really fun. The first one was really good. I really enjoyed watching that with you guys.
Wesley said, "Get rid of Lucky and you'll win."
Yeah, I didn't see any of his horses up there.
So, do you just want to do that now? Is that what you wanted to do?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sweet.
Let's spin the wheel.
I don't know what the deal is with.
I mean, the more time we give the New South Wales team, you know, that way they can't whinge that they didn't have enough time when we beat them again, you know.
Please, Pacer. Wait.
Pacer, yeah.
Oh, imagine if it was
Pacer would be
Pacer.
fun.
That could be difficult.
I I think most people have a pacer around somewhere, don't they?
If not, just go raid Westies.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Go ask Wesley for a breed. It's giving out breeds.
Oh, no. Haha! Not a fucking cross.
Cross.
Of all the
Give it a cross.
Good cross.
Well, I guess Westy and Nova won.
They've got a bit of variance.
Can I borrow a horse, Westy? Oh, Jesus. There's going to be an outrage
That's
on
going
this.
to be interesting, but I like it. Crosses. I like it.
It will be interesting to see what people come up with. We've got a little time to figure out what we want to do.
Yeah.
Ooh.
People should. Yep. We just had a cross tournament, so people have.
There should be some.
Around.
Yeah, that's it. Did you you just wanted to make it that, not Z number? Don't care about Z number being a cross.
Nah, just all cross. If someone wants to put a Z5.
Well, yeah, I don't think it matters. Yeah.
I don't think it really matters for a cross.
Nah, I wouldn't think so.
Nice.
Luckily, we don't have to do colour as well for it.
That's the third one, isn't it?
Oh,
Third one. Third one will be good.
A cross in a specific colour.
Wait, what color is Prospectus and Hoped? Is it yellow?
Yellow, yeah.
We'll just be like, no yellow. Every other color is available. No yellow.
Banned.
No, I shouldn't say that. Westie's for Queensland. He's obviously got the best horse, so.
I think he might have misspelled prospector. That's why.
It gets me. It gets me every time.
Yeah.
It was with an E, wasn't it? There it is.
Imagine like. Yeah.
Gets me every.
Make sure you never know how good your horse is going to be, so double check that spelling.
Originally, I think at one point before John Lee left, he was going to change it for him, but then he left.
It doesn't matter. It's fine.
He probably got fired because he was going to help Westy.
Yeah.
You like the spelling because it's easier to find. Yeah, if you remember.
Yeah.
All right. Well, did you guys need to, guys and girls, need to head off?
Yeah, I think we.
Yeah, we probably have to get going, but
Yeah, it was great to have you both on.
Yeah, it was really awesome. I really enjoyed the chat. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
I'll have to do it again.
100%. I'm thinking about doing this more often on a Sunday, just getting someone on, whether it's yourselves or anyone else. Could even be Westy if we want to see his face.
Oh.
I'm sure after Prospectus Smokes wins the next set of Origin, he'll be keen to come up.
Oh, you want to do the distances as well?
Oh yeah, I guess we have to do the distances.
Well, how many races are we doing? 4?
So, well, yeah.
So I think
If
it'll be like
everyone's
last time.
still in, that was in round 1, that means we have to do 4?
Yeah, I think we'll just have like one from each funnel at least.
Yeah, one from each funnel, I think. The same way as last time,
Alright.
where it was just random between the 3 of each funnel.
Alright.
Are we doing 3 races or 4 races though? Why don't we do one from each funnel and then like
Well,
a
we
random.
can still do 4, but we can do 3 distance funnels, and if there's extra players, we'll just pick one of those distance funnels. I think that's what ended up happening with Ben. I don't know.
Yeah, so you could do like a wheel for each distance funnel, I think, if you wanted to.
Alright.
Oop. All right, we'll do. Well, what you could do is do each individual and then do like a spin with every single distance to see what pops up.
Yeah, that'd be a good way.
Yeah, we could do that. I'm assuming everyone that did round 1 wants to do round 2, so we'll just do that.
Yeah. Unless there's someone else who wants to. No, it'd be good to have the same people, I guess. Other than.
Yeah, I reckon we should have the same people.
People are saying you could just do those distances, spread it out.
Nah.
Your wheel.
You want to
More
mix,
exciting.
it up, you know? 1,200, 1,000 first.
1,000.
That's good. I think thousands are always exciting.
It is. It's not like 1,000.
Oh,
All right. And we're off.
Ooh, 1,800.
1,800. 1,800. That's a good little spread so far.
yeah, Westy likes that one.
Yeah, of course he does. I feel like a shuffle. There we go. Off we go. I reckon it's going to be 22. Nah. Back to...
Put in 18.
Did I miss it? Did I miss 18? What?
No, I'm Westy.
Ah.
I'm just
Ah.
like, who am I going to put in against Prospector? I don't know. Doesn't have any mid runners.
It's not going to matter. Prospector's going to choke.
You first or last, probably.
And we're back to 2,400 meters again.
Oh, yeah, cross.
Nice.
Maybe I'll do the one I'm breeding with, Prospector.
I'd rather a 22 or a 26. And the last one, all of them.
Race 4.
What is this? Ah! Don't
What?
include this one. There's blanks in there. I don't know how. Nah. Piss off.
Look, doesn't count.
Doesn't count. I don't know why there's blanks in there. Oh. Get rid of the blanks. There we go. Alright, now we go. $2,600 as the extra.
Oh.
We got a 24. We got a 24, a 26, 1,800, and a 1,000.
It's pretty good.
Nice.
That'd be interesting. Interesting for
All
sure.
crosses. All
Inter-
crosses across everything.
All crosses.
Yeah.
It's gonna be anyone's game, I guess.
I guess it could
Everyone
be.
gets one horse to enter, I think, at first, until we
Yeah.
need more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be definitely definitely a bit of fun with the crosses.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, we can wrap it up if you like.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, thanks
Yeah,
for coming
thanks.
on.
Yeah. It's been really good. Got much else planned for the day?
And next time you see Lucky, make sure you send my condolences for him, okay?
Okay. He's probably listening. He's probably on the.
Probably.
He's probably sneaking away from the family to listen.
When is he gonna start training his family to run horses as well?
I'm not sure. He just got a new desk the other day, so maybe he's setting up the old desk with for training purposes. He needs to do that, like right next to himself. Just
Awesome.
all right, guys.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much for
thank
having
you.
us.
Thanks.
Have a
Thanks.
great day.
Catch us later, and thanks,
Bye.
chat. Thanks, chat, for joining us. And yeah, we'll see you on. I don't even know what day we're streaming next. Probably Monday.